Hey, my name is Nicholas Kristoff, class of 2013 undergrad and 2014 MBA.
And my name is Sarah Kristoff, and I'm class of 2017. What I love most about Kresge is that it was a great gathering space and collaborative space for those who commuted. I spent a lot of time there in between classes, gathering with friends and collaborating on different projects, and it was really awesome, and I built a lot of connections and was able to maintain some connections through commuting from high school as well.
And my favorite Kresge story is when I decided that it would be a good idea to wait until the Saturday before a Monday research paper was due that needed to be 30 pages on the Temple of Isis in Pompeii. I proceeded to check out every book that Kresge had to offer on Pompeii and the Temple of Isis and spent 48 hours reading them and spending as much time as I could in the library. So I owe it to Kresge for allowing me to graduate and finish that research paper, and spent a lot of hard-earned hours in the library and really loved it.
Beverly Donato Miller, School of Education and Human Services, 1963. When I started my classes at OU in 1959, I checked out the library in North Foundation Hall. I had not felt comfortable in my junior high and high school libraries, so I was hoping for a better experience. Libraries are the center of a university or a community. They are so necessary to education. The OU library was small but welcoming. I was so happy to find my study place for the next 4 years.
Well, I just love the Kresge Library. It's such a wonderful place to gather, to meet people, of course, to read books and journals, to enjoy the beautiful space. There's magnificent art. Of course, there's also the wonderful Joan Rosen Writing Center, and it's just one of the most wonderful places on campus. And so I just love it.
Kenneth Jones, 1986 Cass graduate. During my time at OU, I was certain that I would one day be connected to the theater, maybe as a playwright, maybe as a theater critic. I earned a communications degree with an emphasis in journalism and theater film history. One of my rituals on campus was to seek refuge and resources at Kresge Library, gathering as many plays and books about theater that I could and spending hours digesting them. This time was as vital to my education as my traditional classes. Here's where I took notes about Shakespeare and Shaw and Arthur Miller and Lillian Hellman and Tennessee Williams. Like libraries everywhere, Kresge was a place to think critically about materials, but also to dream. I would become the theater critic at the Oakland Press and eventually at the Detroit News. And after a career in journalism, I became a playwright. My first play, my breakout play, Alabama Story, was about a librarian who was persecuted for protecting the freedom to read in the Deep South in 1959. She, too, knew that libraries were all about refuge and resources. Happy anniversary, Kresge Library. Where would I be without you? Phil and Barb Williams, 1964 and 1966 graduates. Kresge Library, the heart of the university, where students find answers that transform them into graduates, and all may find study, collaboration, research. Thanks to Kresge Library, the staff, and all who combined to make it the diamond of the Oakland University campus. Congratulations, Phil and Barb Williams, who met on the second floor of the library.
Happy 60th anniversary, OU Kresge Library. My name is Michael Nyberg. I graduated in 1963 in the charter class and obtained a degree in engineering. About 20 years after that, I came back to Oakland University and obtained a master's degree in applied statistics. I recently toured the library, and I really love the new furniture that's being put in place. It's colorful, looks comfortable, looks inviting. And there is a plan to replace all the old furniture in the library. Secondly, I like the opportunity to leave a legacy at the library. It's a way to give back, and you're recognized for it. Finally, I love the open educational resource initiative that the library is spearheading. It's an effort to eliminate the cost of textbooks, which is contributing to the high cost of education. So library professors work with teaching professors to find open educational resource material to eliminate the textbooks. Once they have these materials, the professors can teach what they want, the way they want. So it's a win-win situation for both parties. I hope you find something to like about the library as you tour during the Diamond Jubilee celebration.
Denise Miller Jarvis, SBA 89. OU Library will always have a special place in my heart. For 3.5 years, I worked as a student aide in technical services. Fortunate to work in a variety of areas along with collaborating with staff, other student aides. Even had an opportunity to work at one of the galas. Good times. Congrats on this anniversary. Wishing you many more to come.
Dear Kresge Library, I first saw you when I came to Oakland University as a Michigan State University graduate student to teach a class in South Foundation Hall. Your exalted position in the center of the then modest campus, with the Saints and Sinners fountain in front, was, I thought, inspiring. The center of learning on a little hill. How classic, how romantic, until later I had to trudge through snow and fight wind to get to you. Thank you, dear Kresge Library, and all your dedicated people for all your support and memories, as well as the exercise, through these 50 years that I have known and appreciated you. Happy anniversary, dear Kresge Library. Happy anniversary to you and all those who have built, supported, enlivened, and defended you through your 60 years. With love and hope, Jane Bingham.
Mary A. Hearn, OU class of 1963. Kresge Library, you came into my life when I was only 17, full of hopes and dreams, when we were both just beginning our years at Michigan State University, Oakland. You will remember, as do I, that we met when you were first conceived in the halls of North Foundation Hall, where we first met Chancellor Varner and Dean Stoutenberg, who both had such grand plans for you. I have told my granddaughter about you, and she is planning to apply for a job this fall when she becomes a student at Oakland, to help keep your books in order and enjoy your legacy. We have been such good friends that I wanted you to know that you will always hold a place in my heart and that I am very proud of you.
My name is Eric Burchard. I graduated in 1993 with a degree in MIS. My favorite memory about the OU Library is that it was a great place to study. Studying at home was a challenge for me, with 4 younger brothers in the house. I played baseball at OU and worked part-time too, so the OU Library became my study sanctuary, where I learned that I could do great things when I focused. I especially loved studying in the Mike and Penny Nyberg room since it made me feel special. It was easy for me to want to study there since my high school sweetheart and girlfriend was their daughter, Nicole Nyberg. We later married after graduation. Happy Diamond Jubilee anniversary, OU Kresge Library.
Julie Grantham, SBA 1987 and CAS 1981. I was honored to be asked to serve on the advisory board for Kresge Library. The library has been a big part of my life since my student days and continues to be a part of my life today as a lecturer. I served for a decade as a member of the University Assessment Committee, meeting in the library and serving with many library faculty members on this committee. I remember sleuthing for former Honors College Director Jude Nixon for books for his research on Victorian England and taking MBA students for a library tour as they began their studies. And the library has often been a godsend when the internet is out at home. I could always check emails there, which was a relief. May the next 60 years be even more successful for the Kresge Library, and may its continued relevance be evident to all.
Karen Danoff, class of 1999. I have memories of working at Kresge Library as a student from about 1996 to 1999 in various departments. I didn't know it at the time, but I would eventually end up being a librarian. My favorite part was working in the archives. There's some really amazing stuff in there. Also, I remember using the microcard collection for an upper-level history course. The machines had no printers, and so we had to take notes. I also remember the first time we could fill out ILL requests online versus the paper forms, and we were hoping it worked. It did.
Happy birthday to the Kresge Library. This is fantastic. Happy birthday. I love the library for a couple of reasons. I love some of your collections. I like the Jane Bingham children's book collection. I love the Chinese classics on the third floor. I like other areas like the Joan Rosen Writing Center. How great is that? How many students have been helped with that? So I love those. I also love the archives. The archives are great. Did you realize that we have tax records for Oakland University's property from 200 years ago? We have archived in there oral histories from Pontiac in the 1970s. And I've been told that when the descendants of those in the archives listen to these oral histories, it brings them to tears. We have collections. The Woodcock Legacy has materials. We have the original Meadowbrook seminars about what Oakland University should be like. We've got cool stuff. We have things about clubs and activities at Oakland. So I love the archives. I'm especially impressed with the new collection that's coming in from Rod and Sue Wilson about local history. And they have donated a massive collection of materials about the local history where Oakland University now resides. Last, though, I want to say one of the cool things about Oakland University's library here is that the people, they're so helpful and kind. You come in the door, they say, "How can I help you?" And then they go help me. From computer problems to finding books and maps. Great job. Happy birthday.
Judy Hegland, SBA 95. Dearest Kresge Library, I loved your fourth floor where I got to socialize with my friends and future husband too, and your private rooms where I hid in order to study. I visited you just about every weekday night and many weekend days during the school year. You and I spent countless hours together with one goal in mind: finish my degree strong. You helped me achieve that goal and the goals that followed. Thank you, Kresge Library, for all you did to help me become a proud OU alum. Love, Judy Hegland.
When I started picking up my collection, the only place I would ever think of would be Oakland University. And they did not have anything similar to that at all. I just want to let you know why I had that collection. The time period that I've got it, that I was involved with it, was when everybody else was throwing the material away and people were really unhappy with the game material. So I gathered as much as I possibly could for the collection that we have at Oakland University.
From Rod and Sue Wilson, Rochester Historians, September 2022. When we reflect on our donation of approximately 8,500 items related to the history of the Rochester area, we have very happy and fulfilling thoughts and feelings. Susan is a seventh-generation Rochester area resident, originally called Oakland Township, and Rod is a sixth generation of Auburn Hills, also originally called Oakland Township. Their great-great-great-great-grandparents lived within 2 miles of each other. None of our family heirlooms or papers have been donated at this time. As we amassed our very large Rochester collection, we discussed with our two daughters if they wanted the collection or would they want us to find a new home. Their response was, "Please find a new home that will preserve the collection while also making it available for others to view." Rod and Susan decided to contact Oakland University to work with them regarding taking possession of our large Rochester collection. We met with Dean Emeritus of University Libraries, Oakland University, Stephen Whiter, to discuss the Kresge Library accepting our collection. A contract deeding our collection to the university was signed April 2019. With the signing of the contract, we began working with Dominique Daniel, coordinator of archives and special collections, along with the many hats she wears for the university. Dominique, with her staff, have been phenomenal to work with, including picking up the many boxes full of our collection and then digitizing of much of our collection so anyone can go to the Kresge Library website and view the fruits of their work. Our long-term plans are to work with Dean of University Libraries Polly Burroff-Jones and her staff to enhance our collection with the history of the area all around Oakland University, possibly helping the purchase of showcases to display on a rotating basis the items that tell the story of Oakland County, the only county named Oakland in the United States. Congratulations on the Kresge Library Diamond Jubilee 60th anniversary. You are such a sensational asset to the entire community.
Annette Winkler, School of Nursing, class of 1983. I had a work-study job at the library from 1979 to 1983 in the periodical section. This was pre-internet, so I had first access to all the new issues of the nursing journals. Made it easy to keep ahead in class. And I learned how to fix a copy machine.